I have political views for sure, but I don't think that my job is to put those views into a song. It doesn't do any good because usually you're playing to an audience that either agrees with you or is just going to resent you, one or the other. So it doesn't really do much good, I find. My job as a musician is to bring people together through music itself, the harmony that music brings. That is a political function, if you like, because it brings us together. It reminds us of community, the community that we share. So I think that's
And the lyrics
job.
you write are very heartfelt and they're life events that we all can relate to.
I hope so. And if people are moved by it, that to me
Exactly.
loosens the best side of themselves, the emotional side, the imaginative side, the side that has sympathy and empathy. If music frees up that side of my listeners, then I've done my job. And perhaps they'll go out tomorrow, and vote for a different candidate because their sympathy has been awakened for, in a healthy way. That's a dream. It doesn't happen very often, but it might. And I think that's less likely to happen if I preach to them, and tell them how I think they should vote. Why don't I give you an instrumental as we've been talking about my guitar playing, Jim?
I would
Shall
love
I
that.
do that now?
Please do.
So this, I mentioned I have a classical repertoire. This is actually a classical piece, but it's not in copyright, so we don't have to worry about that. It's a Bach piece, but I'm going to do it as a medley with one of my own tunes. And the Bach piece is "Tis You Joy of Man's Desire," followed by my own tune, which is called "I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes."
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that a lot. I was looking at your tour schedule, and you actually have the Cahin schedule on your tour
I do.
schedule.
It's an important gig. It's an important gig.
Thank you so much. I'm very honored. But I was looking at you have an accompaniment is Ben Bedford. What
Ben
can you?
Bedford. Yeah, well, we're doing a show together here in Salida on Sunday, August the 9th at A Church on D Street, 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., one or the other. The venue will know. But Ben Bedford, one of my good friends, he's going to be staying with me for a week here in Salida, and I've arranged various gigs for us to play while he's here, and A Church is one. Ben is a wonderful songwriter. In my opinion, absolutely the equal of any of the songwriters that I grew up listening to. Joni Mitchell, Paul Simon. I think he's in their league. That's my personal opinion. Ben Bedford. So he's going to be staying with me here in Salida, and we'll be playing at A Church on Sunday, August the 9th. And if any of your listeners would like to come, we'll be delighted to see you. I can't remember what the ticket price is. It will tell you on the venue website. But I think it might be $20. Can't remember. 15 or 20. And we'll be playing probably an hour and a half set, I would imagine, starting at either 3 p.m. or 4 p.m.
I'm excited about that. I
I'm
will
excited.
definitely be there.
Oh, please do, Jim. That'd be great.
So
if you
it's
can
like,
come.
wow.
Thank you.
And the A Church is the perfect location.
It's a great
So,
space. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of good work on it, and it's a lovely sound, and they get some very good people coming through. I sometimes wonder actually if I'm partly responsible for that, because I know that sounds a bit conceited, but I know that a lot of musicians look at my website for gigs. I know that they go to my calendar, and I don't think until quite recently in Salida there were many decent venues to play. There was the Steam Plant, but I think that was probably the only one in terms of real listening rooms. And I've played the A Church several times, at least once every year for the last 4 or 5 years. And I think that might have influenced some of the people who played there to look it out and play there themselves. Because that's how it works with musicians. We look at each other's calendars, and when we're looking for gigs, I know a lot of people do look at mine because I play so many gigs in a year. So if I have helped in any way, the A Church, increase its numbers, then I'm glad of that.
and a Sunday afternoon, there's not one thing I've noticed in this town. There's so much live music
There is.
that there's a lot of competition,
Now.
like on a Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, well, it's mostly in
But
the
on a
park, isn't it?
Sunday,
Yeah.
there's not that much of.
No,
to
it's true.
choose.
There's a lot of live music in Salida. There is because it's always something in the park in Riverside Park there. But in terms of rural listening rooms, as I said earlier, there still aren't many places where you go down and sit down and listen to music in silence, which is what most musicians prefer. A Church is one of those venues.
There's one down in Coaldale. The Coaldale Historic Schoolhouse is a
Okay.
really nice listening room, also.
It is, but it's very difficult to get people to come out there. I played there myself a couple of years ago, and I had a really dismal.
17, 20 miles away. And
Yeah, it's a little bit out of the way, so I had a very poor attendance when I played there. But it's a nice space, I grant you that. Yeah.
I'm guilty of that. I live downtown. In fact, I live like 3 porches down from the A Church, so I go to everything the A Church has because I can crawl there if I
Right, so
want.
I know where you live now, so you better be there. Well, I will mention actually when you mentioned the Coaldale Schoolhouse, and a friend of mine, Sam Robbins, he's playing there. I think on August the 1st, which is Sunday week, and I think actually his show is sold out. But if it isn't sold out, I recommend that people go and hear it because he's a very good, very very accomplished
Are
player.
you still going to be in town that time?
Well, yeah, but we're busy. I've got family commitments that weekend. So,
Okay.
but Sam Robbins is playing there on Sunday week. Thought I'd give him the plug. Musicians have to look out for each other, So.
Yeah. It's all teamwork. It's not competition. That's what I liked about this town, that the musicians support each other, encourage each other, and it's not really competition. or
No, I
anything
think so.
here.
And a good friend of mine here is Chris at Broken String Guitars.
Chris Nasca.
Yeah, I'm always dropping in on him when I'm here, and he's always interested to hear when I'm out. I think he was playing last night in the park, actually. I
Yep.
think
His band S Town All Stars was at the
right,
park.
Right, yeah. So he's here, and yeah, musicians tend not to, compete. They tend not to. If I use the word bitch about each other, actors, for example, do that, but I think musicians don't. They tend to be supportive. I think one of the reasons is that we can admire each other's craft in a more detached way. People are always, complimentary about my guitar playing, for example, and they do that in a very generous way as fellow musicians.
Chris Nasca is a local legend and very generous human being. He donated a guitar so we'd have one in the studio in
that
case
it?
a musician
Right.
didn't have one.
Is that
And
his
they-
guitar on the?
Yes.
It's a Martin. Martin's a good brand. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very generous human and a good musician. So.
Yeah, well, I think the two tend to go together. I think good musicians tend to be generous. They give of themselves so much. They have to play music properly.
What can we expect when you play the 9th on Sunday?
Well, I'll do most of my own material up, and some of the newer stuff. I'll be giving a taste of all my CDs that I've done in the last 5 years. Well, I usually structure my gigs, my live sets around the CDs actually, which sounds very out of date, but I still sell CDs. I sell about 1,000 a year, which is.
I like having a hard copy around.
I do too. I still sit down and listen to CDs at home. But so I try to structure my gigs around the CDs because that reminds people that the CDs are available and for sale. If they like the songs, they can go and listen to them again if they buy the CD. And also my CDs have a style peculiar to each CD, so that if I play songs from each CD, I use those different songs from each CD as building blocks in the set the set itself will have a sort of organic form because I'm using songs that have a relationship to each other, you know, within the set, if you see what I mean. So I always structure my sets around the CDs, and I give 2 or 3 songs from each CD, and then if people want to buy the CD, then at the end of the night, that's all to the good.
And do you dabble in vinyl LPs or anything? It seems to be the rage now.
Well, the problem with the vinyl is it's very expensive to produce, so you have to charge a lot. I think you have to charge at least $25 for a vinyl recording, and not many people really want to pay that much after they've already spent $25 on the cost of getting in to the show. I think you can only do vinyl in very limited editions. Most people I know are doing less than 50, 75 copies, you know. And in order to cover their cost, they have to charge a lot, and I don't think I can really do that in concert. I prefer CDs. I think CDs live up to their name, which is they are compact. They don't take up much storage space by comparison with a vinyl. And so you can usually fit them in on your shelf, you know. And that's an advantage to me. And yet they're such lovely things. I mean, you can put an awful lot of information on the CD with the lyric booklet, which is a very important part of, which is a very important selling feature of CDs, the lyric booklet, and the artwork and all that. So I like CDs. I think they're a very attractive commodity, and I think they'll probably come back into fashion. They're out of fashion right now, but I think they'll come back as vinyl has come back. You know?
I've collected music over the years, and I have a very extensive LP collection and a CD collection, and majority of my music is streamed now, just because of the convenience.
Well, of course, that's what most people would say. But you know, as we know, as musicians, we don't get any money from the streaming. I mean, one thing I advise people to do, which helps musicians, but also is convenient for their listening, is to download the CD onto their iPhone, whatever it is, and you can download CDs onto your phone. If you have an iPad, whatever it is, you know, little thing like a phone. I've got thousands of CDs on my iPad, so I can listen to them in that form. But I have already purchased the CD, which is the important step as far as the musician is concerned. So he makes the money, or she makes the money, but I listen to them in a format which is convenient, which is on my phone. So it's sort of in theory, everybody is happy. Although I think the quality is slightly not as good on your phone because it's been compressed and often quite highly compressed, so it loses some quality. But I still think CDs are the most rewarding form to listen to a CD, to listen to music. You know.
I really enjoyed it because you could play it in your car.
If you have a CD player.
If you had one, now they don't.
Now they don't. But so I've got around that difficulty by putting them on my phone. You see, because I can wire my phone up to the speaker in my car and I listen to it. I think that's good. But I like listening to CDs at home. I mean, have a glass of wine, sit down, and listen to half an hour of music. I think that's a very good thing to do, but not many people agree.
You can listen to both sides and not have to flip it over.
Yeah, exactly. You have to get up off the couch. You know, that's right.
You listen to the whole damn album
right
there.
Bottle of wine at your knee, you know, cigarette, whatever it might be. Everything's great. You know. So we have one more song? Or what do you reckon, Jim, before we close up? Or what would you like?
Anything you feel like playing.
Well, let me do a song from my 2022 CD, which is called For the People. It's songs based loosely on old English folk stories. Changing guitars here. I have 2 guitars in the studio. I travel with 3 guitars because I don't like to retune them in the middle of a set, so I have them all in different tunings. So this is a song based loosely on several old English folk stories, which I then turned into a new song, and it's dedicated to the sea, which is one of my favourite things. From my 2022 CD, For the People, based loosely on old English folk stories, this is called To the Sea. Can you tell me where my true love lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did she pass by on her morning ride? Follow the river to the sea. Were there wildflowers in her chestnut hair? What's that to me? What's that to me? It was for my sake she then did wear. Follow the river to the sea. There And she waits on the sun-warmed sands while the waves rise and fall, where the old ruined castle stands and silence gazes from its walls. There she'll watch as the sailors make land, each with treasures galore. They will show her the pearls in their hands that they have brought from distant shores. And in time to come she'll not grow old. What's that to me? What's that to me? For a rusty coin she'll trade her soul, follow the river to the sea. Can you tell me where my sweetheart lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did you hear her sing as she passed by? Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea.
Love it.
Thank you.
Rupert, thank you for taking time out and coming into the studio. August 9th, Sunday,
Yes.
3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. We'll
One or
figure it
the
out
other.
before then. We got a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll get that straightened out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim. Nice to be here. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it. Guys, I'm just going to get back into some regular music. I got the Jayhawks, I got some Backyard Tire Fire, and some Fleetwood Mac coming up. Enjoy.